Today's video will be a full and complete Easter egg guide on the brand new zombies map, The Tomb. We've had some really awesome and huge boss fights so far, like the Guardian and Patient 13. So it's just only up from here, right? We're gonna have a really unique, cool, even bigger boss fight on this map, right?
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
All jokes aside, I think this Easter egg is pretty fun to do. It's actually pretty easy, and I think beginners to zombies and just new players in general will be able to get this done. So enjoy the walkthrough. A few quick suggestions before you queue into the new map. I would definitely suggest you using an assault rifle with a drum mag. That's what I used on a couple of my attempts. Or on the actual completion attempt, I ended up switching to the ASG shotgun, which just did better damage during the boss fight. Those are two options for weapons. And I also suggest you bring in a couple gobblegums if you want to do Perkaholic. I also strongly suggest bringing in the Wonder Bar gobblegum because this allows you to get the ice staff out of the mystery box, and that'll bypass the whole entire step of having to build the ice staff, which is the majority of the Easter egg. Alright, so your first goal is just going to be to open all the doors and make it down to the door that takes you into the Dark Ether. That's just going to have you buy a few doors to get to it. And actually on my game here, you can see I didn't even have the gobblegum to get me the ice staff out of the mystery box, and I just happened to spin it, and on my very first time I did get the ice staff. So that is an option you can do. That'll, like I said, that'll help you bypass this whole entire step of having to build the ice staff. So I definitely suggest doing that. But for step one of the actual Easter egg, it is going to be to build the ice staff. So let's get straight into step one, and I'll tell you guys how to build the ice staff right now. So first things first, like I said before, make sure you come over to the red door right here, interact with it. You're going to get this animation, and it's going to open up the Dark Ether for you to travel to. Now the first actual part you're going to need for the ice staff is not going to spawn in until round 8. And on round 8 you're going to get a shock mimic that spawns in. Go ahead and take him out, and he's going to drop the first part for the ice staff. Forgive me for not having footage of taking down that mimic, but when you do take him down, the item he drops is going to look like this. So now there are only 2 other parts, and for this step all you need to do is come to these constellations on the wall right here, and you need to connect each one. They're pretty simple. I will show you how to do it. They actually represent basically Roman numerals, and once you complete these, it's going to start a holdout, and once you complete the holdout in each area, you will be granted with both parts for the ice staff. And the more complicated part of this is actually just that these actually won't spawn on the wall unless the purple flame, which you see right here, is spawned right near that section on the wall. So if it's not spawned in right near that section on the wall, just destroy the one you see, like this, and then it will hopefully respawn back closer. So let's start with the bull one on this side. I will throw up on the screen the exact order you need to shoot the symbols in. So go ahead and shoot the symbols, and now this is going to start the first step of the holdout phase. So you'll be stuck in this little area by purple on each end of the door. It's going to spawn in zombies and specials. You're going to go ahead and just take them out. I believe it's going to be 4 waves, and then you will be granted a max ammo and the second part of the ice staff. Okay, now let's head back over to complete the last part of the ice staff. For this part, you're going to want the fire crystal to spawn in this location right here. And if it does spawn in right there on that location, that means it'll allow you to shoot the constellations, and you're going to shoot them in this order right here. Now, same thing for this. It's going to start a holdout step. You're going to go through all the phases of the holdout step, and you'll be granted the last piece of the ice staff. Now that we have every single part for the ice staff, we're going to want to teleport back to the Dark Ether, and you're going to run to the very center of the Dark Ether area, and you're going to interact with this wall right here. It's going to look like a broken wall with kind of a ring cut out in the middle. Once you interact with this, same thing, it's going to start a holdout area, and you're going to just defeat all the zombies in this area, and you will finally be granted with the ice staff. The main difference of this last step right here is the zombies are actually going to try and attack the staff as it's being built, and you just need to try and defend it, because as you see on the side right there, it does have a health bar. Okay, so if you were to have gotten the ice staff out of the mystery box, this is where the steps to start upgrading the staff finally begin. So we want to leave the dark ether and come back to the underground area right here. We're going to look for these fire crystals, and what we need to do is make sure we have stamina up and PhD, because this is all about speed, and we need to shoot 3 of them in rapid succession. If done successfully, a quote from Archibald will pop up on the screen. Okay, so now we're on to the next step, which is a little finicky and can sometimes be annoying, but you're going to want to come back to the dark ether, and you're going to look up in the sky, and you'll see a bunch of rocks floating around. Now, they do spawn in random locations, so you just kind of need to look up in the sky and look around and see them, and you will eventually see 3 separate rocks, and on each rock, you'll see a little purple glowing symbol. What you're going to want to do is shoot them all like this, and once they are shot, they will lower down, which allows you to see them a little bit better, even though, in my opinion, they're kind of hard to see. And what you're going to want to do is make sure you memorize those 3 symbols. Now, to make sure you did that last step successfully, run over to every single door in the dark ether, and one of them should be closed like that. If you see one closed, that means you did the last step right, and you're going to want to go over to a different door and jump back. Once you jump back, go over to that door, and you should see these symbols on the outside. And the reason why we memorized those other symbols that we shot on the rocks are because we're going to shoot those same symbols on the door. And if done correctly, you should see right on the bottom, all 3 symbols lit up in gold. Once you go through that portal you just opened up, you will have this purple orb, and you will be allowed to interact with it. You're going to be pushed off the rock that you spawned in on, and now basically all you have to do is do an escort mission. You have to follow this purple orb, and the purple orb is going to kind of act as a soul box, and every zombie you kill will be pushed into the orb, and you need to walk around pretty much the whole entirety of the dark ether all the way back to that broken wall. Once this step is completed, you will receive a white flash on the screen. That's how you know you completed the step. And now you need to take your ice staff and walk over to the purple wall. The wall should be now glowing purple, and you need to interact with the wall. You will get this charge effect, and now you have the upgraded ice staff. Now that the ice staff is upgraded, we can switch to the alternate fire mode, which is meant to be a revive. But instead, we're going to shoot it at this statue right here that has a parasite on it. After you shoot it, you can go over and interact with it, and you will pick up the energy. Next, you want to jump back to the dig site in the underground area and come to the spawn, and you will find the same exact statue glowing. When you interact with it, it's going to start this holdout. You're just going to kill these parasites. Sped it up here for you. Go ahead and kill the parasites, and you will receive a white flash. It's usually how you know you're done with these steps. Now, we're going to go back over to the statue, and we're going to interact with it one more time, and we'll pick up the energy. This time it's different. If you take damage, the health bar of the energy will go down, so try and avoid getting hit. And we're going to go back to the dark ether. Once we go back to the dark ether, we're going to interact with that same statue one more time, and this step is complete. Okay, now we basically have to repeat that step over here on this statue. We're going to shoot it. We're going to pick up the energy like we did. This one will have a parasite on it. That's how you know you're doing the right one. Pick up the energy again. Come back to this room right here. Stamina up room. Interact with this. and it's going to start a new task. This one's a little different. You're going to want to kill the parasites, and of course you're going to be attacked by zombies too. Kill the parasites, and they're actually going to drop these purple orbs. When you walk over to it, you don't need to push any button. It'll automatically pick it up and go into your left hand. Once you have it in your left hand, you're going to walk back towards the statue, and it will automatically drop it into the statue. And you just need to keep doing this. You can see I sped it up, and you will eventually overload the statue, and you'll get that white flash. Now, same as before, you're going to interact with the statue. You're going to pick up the energy, and that health bar will come on the left side. Now, another thing I forgot to note on the last one is the portal that's right there will actually close. If you saw it on the corner, it closed, and it's going to force you to go through a different one. Just go ahead and run around and go and take the red one, and bring that energy back to the Parasite Statue. And you're complete with the second of the 4 statues. Okay, now we're on to the third of the 4 statues. This one is going to be the Doppelghast. So go ahead and shoot the Doppelghast with your alternate fire revive of the ice staff. Pick up that energy, and then same thing, we're going to want to jump back through the teleporter and go back to the dig site area, the underground area, and you're going to go to the speed cola room. So once you make it to the speed cola room, you should see that same exact statue. That's how you know you're in the right spot. The statue should match, and it should be glowing purple. Interact with it. It's going to start a new holdout step. This one, of course, is different. You're going to need to fight Doppelghasts. Make sure you kill the Doppelghasts. And purple lasers and those little, little firework circle patches will spawn on the ground as well. Try and avoid those. As you see right there, it'll damage you just like the Doppelghasts damage you. So just do some damage, take out the Doppelghasts. And then rinse and repeat. You're going to pick up the energy again. You're going to have that health bar on the left side, and you're going to run it back to the dark ether, and you're going to interact with the statue, and boom, you're done with this one. Okay, we're on the last and final statue. By now you guys know the drill. You're going to shoot it with your alt fire, pick up that energy, run back, and you're going to come down to this area right here. This is going to be the amalgam right here. You're going to interact with it, and it's going to spawn in a big red amalgam. For this step, all you're going to want to do is put damage into him, and eventually a purple zombie will spawn in, and the amalgam will become tethered to that purple zombie, and he will be immune while he's tethered to that zombie. So as you see right there, he's immune, and once I kill that zombie, now he can take damage again. And you see right here, I didn't even speed this clip up, he dies very quick. So kill him, get him killed, and then you're going to do the exact same thing we did the other 3 times. You're going to go over to the statue, interact with it, you'll have that health bar, take it back, interact with the Amalgam Statue in the dark ether. Once you interact with the Amalgam Statue, that is actually the last of the 4 statues. So you should see 4 purple beams all going to that purple crystal in the sky. That's how you know you've completed all the steps correctly. Now, we are ready to go into the boss fight. But first, as you see in my game right here, I'm not totally ready, so I do definitely suggest you go through more rounds, gather more points, get your gun legendary, get your gun pack punch level 3, get every single perk, and make sure you have Ether Shroud, 2 charges, make sure you have a good amount of equipment and a good tactical, because you need everything you can for this boss fight. So once you are ready, you're going to run around the broken wall in the Dark Ether, and you're going to come over to this right here. You're going to be able to interact with this. The zombies will keep coming after you, so just keep that in mind. It takes a second for the bridge to build. You're going to run across the bridge, and you should see the artifact fall down onto the thing right here in the middle. And nothing will happen until you interact with it. So you got to go over and hit your interact button with it, and that will begin the boss fight. So I would say the first 2, 3, 4 phases are very easy. It's just going to go up and down, and it's going to have a red laser beam. At the first phase, you're going to have just one laser beam. All you need to do is dodge it and kill the zombies while it does its thing. It's going to go up and down. During the first few laser stages, I do definitely suggest you just stand behind one of these rocks right here, because you don't really have any amalgams or doppelghast or anything coming at you, so there's nothing really too fast that you can't just dodge, just this one red zombie. And definitely just get these steps done right here behind this so the lasers don't hit you. And then you'll know you're ready when it goes purple like this. Now that means it's in its damage phase. You want to shoot at it with everything you have, and it will break. You'll see right here. Boom. When it breaks, it separates into 2 pieces. Now it's going to do the exact same thing it did, but just two of them. So it's going to have 2 beams coming out. And you do get a max ammo after every time you break a mirror too. So that's very straightforward. You're going to want to try and break as many as you can. I would definitely suggest you going into Ether Shroud to put DPS into the mirrors to avoid taking damage from the zombies. So once you break the 4th one right here, you'll see breaks. Now the rest will become immune. So you're done with this standard kind of stuff. Don't keep shooting them like I'm doing. So what you're going to do, it's going to go into the next round. And one of the artifacts will actually become attached to a zombie. So you'll see right here, hopefully it shows him. And you will get bosses and specials spawning in now too, amalgams, doppelghasts, and stuff like that. So try and avoid them. I definitely suggest just running around in a circle on the bottom, because the lasers will pretty much miss you if you slide in the open spots. It was missing me pretty much every time, so you're good with that. What you're going to want to do is just keep running around and kill as many of the ads as you can, and you will eventually see that zombie with the red mirror attached to him. So once you see him right here, he's going to take a ton of damage. You want to kill him, and what's going to happen is the mirror will drop off of him, and you need to just damage the mirror like you were before. So keep damaging the mirror, it'll break, and then it'll go back towards the middle. Now once you've broken the mirror off that zombie and the health bar is around this kind of level towards the middle of the health bar, you will actually get a Doppelghast. So the mirror will now be attached to a Doppelghast, and in my opinion this is the hardest part because the Doppelghast is very fast. So if he gets close to you and he hits you, you will die in one shot. This is what ruined my run the first time. I'll throw that up on the screen right here. You can see I was popping a mutant injection, so just keep this in mind. When you do pop one of those, it will kill you.
Hey, boy, ain't no way, boy. Wait.
So after that death, I ended up running it back with this shotgun right here, the ASG, fully maxed out, max rarity, max pack-a-punch, and this is going to deal the most damage possible when you are in the shooting phase of the mirrors. As you see right here, I unfortunately didn't have rapid fire trigger for it, so the rate of fire is slow, but it's doing 4K per shot, and I was able to break 2 mirrors with 1 clip. So once you kill the Doppelghast and destroy that mirror, you will be given a mimic. Go ahead and kill that mimic and destroy the mirror. And the last of the boss enemies with the mirrors attached to them will be the amalgam. So you see me right here. I deal a lot of damage with this shotgun. I end up going into Ether Shroud just to finish him up. So go ahead and do that. Destroy him, destroy the mirror, and that'll put you into the final phase of the boss fight. Final phase is very easy. They're all gonna just combine into one. I'll try and get a shot of it right here once I run around the corner. So you'll see that they all just kind of combine into one, and they're gonna float up. And once it makes it to this spot right here, you just need to put damage into it. So unfortunately, I didn't have an Ether Shroud left, but I was still able to just keep focusing damage into it, even though the amalgam was right next to me. So Ideally, you want to try and keep your Ether Shroud for this step right here. Put your damage into it, and it will break, and the last little bit of health is gone. And you have completed the Tomb Easter egg. Thank you guys again for watching. If there's anything I missed or if there's any questions, just let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to interact with you guys down there.
Raptor 1, I'm at the LZ. Let's get the hell out of here.